Hey class, it's Mr. Dow. Just wanted to run over how to most effectively navigate this class site for you, just to avoid common mistakes that sometimes mess people up. I'm looking at the course the way I see it, which is the instructor view. Let's switch over to the student view, and let's take a look at it the way you would see it. And I just want to point out a couple things. There we go. Okay, so there's the student view. Oops, I screwed up and got the calendar here. Okay, all right. There's the student view. A couple things to point out. You have a menu on the left here. I've eliminated most of the stuff on that menu because I think it's redundant, just causes confusion. So you just have a couple things, but you can always check your grades. Always get to the library. If you want to see the syllabus, I've moved it into the first module here. The way the course is set up is that every week is called a module, and in those week I put all the work that's due for that week. We want to know what's due in the next week. You go to the next week. Here's all the work due for the next week. The work is a mix of reading assignments, exercises that show me you've understood the reading assignments, parts of a paper that you're constructing, and sometimes discussion responses that other students can read. If you want to know what you have to do that week, do not refer to your to-do list over here. Do not refer to the grade book. The only way to find out exactly what you need to do that week is to always click on the first entry, which is always called What to Do and Think About This Week. The reason I say that is because sometimes that list, the What to Do and Think About This Week, there's more on that list than there is in the rest of the module. So if you're thinking, I'll just skip that week and run through the modules one by one and do those assignments, you'll get about 80% of the assignments. You'll end up with a D in the class. Go to this thing first and check what's on here. So, for example, this first week, this is an old video that I'm replacing right now. You would watch that. You take the syllabus quiz, which means you have to read the syllabus. I do that because so many problems that come up in an online class come up specifically because people skip over the syllabus and don't understand the basic setup of the class. You're posting a response, your discussion, you do the mechanics grammar diagnostic. And if you're thinking, well, wait, what grammar mechanics diagnostic? What are you talking about? You just go to the list and look at the modules again. And there it is. There's the syllabus quiz. There's a discussion response. And the instructions of how to take all these and what's required are on here. It's just that the full list is here. So always, every week, start with the what to do and think about this week page, and then move on from there. You see it's set up that way each time. I'll probably start off with about 4 or 5 weeks set up in this class that you could see, and then start releasing other weeks as we start moving through. As you'll read from the syllabus, my number one not warning, but piece of advice to everybody in the class is to keep up with the calendar. This class is not forgiving to people who fall behind. It's not easy to catch up in this class. My second piece of advice is to do everything in the order that is presented. In other words, I've tried to make this course as simple as possible in terms of getting through it. After you do exercise 2, here you go to the next thing, or whatever it tells you to do on this list here, which is often going to be the next thing on the module. And you do them. If you have to read something, read it. Don't skim it. If you have to submit an assignment, submit it. If you don't understand what the assignment's asking you, that's totally understandable. Send me emails. Send as many emails as you like, asking me to further explain. I try to give you an example of almost everything that I'm asking you to turn in. But that's basically it. It's try to make this course as simple as possible to get through. So hopefully you don't have that many questions and you can just kind of get started. I'll set up the class so that's available to you before the semester starts. But yeah, if you have questions or an issue or anything like that happens, make sure to get hold of me as soon as possible. All right, hopefully I'll see you on the site.